Hi, this is Ken Kersinger, and you're watching Drunken Zombie.
Zombie! Zombie! Zombie!
This is Brian from Drunken Zombie. We're here with the one and only Rowdy Roddy Piper. How's it going, Roddy?
I'm a box of fluffy ducks, thank you. I been to the convention for now 3 days, and I'm still this side of the grass, so I consider it a successful event. Yes.
Well, we couldn't be a whorehound and not bring up They Live. just a fantastic movie. How did you get involved with They Live?
Truth of the matter is, I was doing Wrestlemania 3, and when I was doing Wrestlemania 3, it was the Pontiac Silverdome, and Cyndi Lauper's manager, Dave Wolf, he says, these guys want to meet you. I don't want to meet anybody. I'm a little busy, you know, I got 93,000 people out there who want to see me fight. Yeah. I said, no, would you just say hi? Yeah, hi, who are you? Hi, how are you? So, and that was it, and I left, and I went to do my business, and he comes, hey, guys want to take you out for dinner. I don't want to go out for dinner. All right? I'm leaving, I'm retiring, I'm going to Hollywood. All right, we'll go to dinner. Finally, what's his name? His name's John Carpenter. Never heard of him. Is he paying? Yeah, good. I'm not being facetious. It was like, what do you want, salad? I'll have somebody send me over a bottle of Cristal. I mixed it with orange juice. Could see tears coming down his eyes. I got Cristal, and there was the buns, right? So buns, and somebody said, you know, pass the butter, and John said, you want to star in my next movie? And I said, sure. Pass that, and that was all.
That was it?
That was it, and so then he says, well, we should probably get together. And I had done my retirement match, and I went over to Hollywood and started to take my first film real serious. And it came out the #1 hit. I'm the only wrestler to have I was at the time, to have a #1 hit, being the principal in it in a major studio picture. And it drove Vince, and Hogan lost his hair over it. I tell you, it must have really bothered him, you know. And Vince, that varicose vein in his nose, just thump, 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 thump. And it was just that, man. And then I worked hard on the acting part. I didn't realize, you know, acting isn't hard. And they say, you know, after the movie got out, it was released, they had the critics, and you know, you get good reviews, bad reviews, and this critic on the East Coast says, anybody who thought wrestlers were actors should watch They Live. It's proof they're not. Thank you for your kindness, too. I hope your family eats.
So there's kind of a bunch of rumors about that movie for certain elements. I just wanted to see if maybe you can help us true or false.
Most of them. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So the famous line, I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Did you come up with that on the set by yourself?
Yeah. The thing was, so it's time, and we're outside the bank, and John says, action. And then he says, hold the roll. The hold the roll, just for people who are watching us, means that they're burning film, we're burning money. The director just has a directorial to the actor, and then we're going to go on. He says, Roddy, he says, you got bullets across your chest, you got sunglasses on, you got a shotgun, you're going in a bank, you're not going to rob it, say something. I come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Cut, lunch, that's it. No 2 takes, no nothing. I've had lots of movies where I try to put them sneaky little catch lines, never works. You know, Randy Savage come up to me and he says, life's a bitch and she's back in hell. You having troubles, Randy? No, life's a bitch and she's back in hell. Whoa. Randy, what's going on? You don't remember that? No, I don't. It was in your movie. Obviously, you watched it. I didn't. Yes.
Very cool. So, also the fight scene between you and Keith David, we heard it was supposed to just be like a really short fight scene, but you guys really extended it. Is that true?
Well, no, not entirely. John Carpenter had me watch a movie called The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. And at that time, that was the longest fight scene in cinema history. And John Carpenter wanted a longer fight scene and a better fight scene. And so the premise with the fight scene, just kind of make it easy for you, was this was a fight between true friends or two good acquaintances. It wasn't a fight between two guys that didn't like each other. Henceforth, you had things like, I took a 2x4 and I swung it at him and I missed him and I hit the back window of the car and it shattered it. And I stopped him and I'm like, oh, whoa. And because I'm realizing I almost killed my friend. And so he gets a wine ball and breaks it like he's gonna kill me, and he cuts his hand. Well, that makes me laugh. And that makes him madder. Next thing you know, we're going double over a car. So, you know, it had, and so now it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's the longest fight scene in cinema history, and I got an award for it being the best fight scene in cinema history. Keith David, he's a 220-pound dancer, hit like Ernie Shavers, didn't even know it. He's killing me. And so, finally, I said, John, just set up a bunch of cameras. And Keith, from here down, just hit me, because you're killing me. And so what we did is we would go as far as we possibly could, and then before something would happen. And what that did, just by accident, was it kept up the energy of the fight, because we weren't covering, we were hitting. See, there was no covering, no crossing angles, and it really gave it that extra. These guys are, you know, the energy in it. So, you know, if we got energy, you got energy, kind of thing. That's how that happened.
Well, that's a great fight scene. I know I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. They have stuntmen they're watching, and I never thought much about it. I just said, how many minutes you want? And so they took 5 minutes off it. I said, well, jeepers, why didn't you tell me that? I could have took it off myself and not had to suffer through it. But I did.
Another movie it seemed like I heard a lot about, and we haven't really heard much lately, is a movie called St. John Smith. Do you know when that's going to be coming out?
I think sometime in the year 2012. So Nostradamus says the world's going to blow up then. And that damn film, maybe it'll go with it. It's a film that's been half shot, and nobody really knows why the other half has not been shot. Ethan Denmeyer, the director, you know, something's wrong. The reason I don't squelch it is because I'm going, hey, maybe he's having a tough time or something. And besides, with Richard Tyson in it, who was teaching me Shakespeare, you know, take but my shame and I resign my gage. My dear, dear Lord, the purest treasure mortal times afford is spotless reputation, that away men but gilded loom or painted clay. A jewel in a 10 times barred up chest is a bold spirit and a loyal breast. My life and my honor, they grow as one. Take my honor and my life is done. So, my dear liege, my honor let me try. With that I live, or with that I die. A lot of room in wrestling for that. Anyway, thank you. So I'm learning Shakespeare over there. We got half a movie done, and I'm not killing it because maybe the guy's going to get around and do it. If he doesn't do it by the end of this year, I'm going to kill the movie.
Fantastic. So we're going to see you in a ring anytime soon?
Oh, man. Maybe one more time.
Just one more time?
Yeah, to say goodbye. I don't care who I fight, you know, but as I was saying, McMahon, I'll fight McMahon. I'll give it to you, that one, for free. And then it'll be like I had over 7,000 of them. There's not much more to do, you know.
Well, I really liked you and Ric Flair as the tag team champions. I thought that was fantastic.
Well, thank you. That's when I got the cancer and all that, too. Otherwise, we still would have been tag team champions.
Well, how are you feeling?
I'm good. you know, that radiation stays in you and makes you tired. But I'm going to the gym I got the radiation. They took my backbone out, and then they put me on the radiator for 5 times a week for 4 weeks. I was supposed to take 8 weeks off. 2 weeks later, I was doing a movie called Sweet 16 for MTV, and I just kept rolling. You know, so, you know, you're going to have to kill me. You want me.
Well, you look fantastic, so I'm really glad you're doing well.
God bless you, man, and thanks for having me on the air.
All right, welcome to another Drunken Zombie video review, and welcome to our wrestling-themed episode.
Yeah. Later on, Brian and Uncle Randy are going to throw down.
Yes. That'll be sumo wrestling, though. That's not good for anybody.
It's not good. I am wearing a diaper, though, so that helps.
Yeah.
So for this episode, we watched, and we're getting ready to review Wrestlemaniac.
It's a amateur film crew that's making a porno movie. Then they hit a rock with the van.
Yeah, they hit a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they learn about this ghost town first at the gas station with the creepy attendant, of course.
Because every film like this has to have a creepy stranger that will warn you of impending doom. Yeah.
And the fat cameraman knows the legend of the masked wrestler guy. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Well,
he was like the low budget Hurley.
Yes, he was.
So they kind of, okay, shit, we're in this ghost town, but then they start filming the porno, and you're thinking, oh great, I'm gonna see some titties.
So yeah, we find out that the villain is a masked wrestler, and the deal with masked wrestling is, especially in Mexico, that they try to tear each other's masks off because that's like a form of humiliation. And so this killer tears people's faces off, and starts doing that, I guess. And
sure,
the fat guy figures they need to end him. They need to take his mask off. But I'm just like, okay, this dude starts killing people with some wrestling moves. And like immediately when I said that, he picks the chick up and does a backbreaker on her. It was still like the lamest backbreaker I've ever seen, but
dude, there were so many opportunities in this movie to have wrestling move style kills.
There's also steel chairs sitting around.
There's steel chairs everywhere.
Yeah,
because that was me. I'm like, this dude has to get hit with a steel chair. I mean, it can't be a wrestling themed movie without
nothing.
And nothing. So that's basically your plot of the movie. We don't want to spoil the ending for anybody, but
the ending the ending actually Brian came up with as a joke, and he was
and
right.
That happened.
Let's do our ratings. We decided we're gonna change our rating system up a little bit,
just to confuse you,
just to confuse everybody. Instead of rating, we're still gonna talk about the categories, the 3 B's of horror, but we're just gonna give one overall rating now, and kind of give you the good and bad points of each category. So let's go with the 3 B's of horror that we usually establish, which is boobs, blood, and I think for this one, instead of deaths, we should do body slams.
That's the movie.
All right, let's start off with body slams, which will be the deaths or whatever.
You had the backbreaker, and that was
backbreaker. That was about it.
But see, almost
all of them were off camera.
Yeah, almost everything was off camera, but the face ripping was really just let's pour some syrup or some jam over someone's face because they still had lips visible. And
so as Wes said, we were very disappointed at the deaths because Wes had heard a lot about the deaths in this movie.
I apparently read the wrong website,
and I thought face ripping. I'm like, that's gotta be pretty freaking sweet, but it wasn't done very well.
No,
I mean, while it's happening, it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. They added some noises in.
No, Face Off had better face ripping.
Yeah, because the first girl, we don't see her die at all. Stoner guy, we later see him with jam in his face.
It's pretty good.
Who's next? And then
the other girl that was in the wrestling room.
Yeah, no. Then there's the annoying guy.
Oh yeah, the annoying guy who we said we were hoping would be the first person to die.
Yeah.
Well, he dies, but I mean, and that's kind of cool because he gets his head slammed into some breaks.
Okay, you know what? I forgot about that. That's actually
that was some wrestling moves, I guess.
That was actually a pretty good death because I'm not a big fan of like teeth related injuries or anything, and that
was the one
actually made me cringe.
Body slams, not good in this movie. So,
No.
so let's move on to the boobs.
We saw 3.
We saw 3.
Yeah, we saw 3 boobs.
1.5 steps.
Not like 3 is in like Total Recall 3.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been okay.
Yeah, 2
I like paper mache
plus
boobs,
1.
seriously.
2 store-bought and 1 real.
Well, in the store-bought ones, she works out way too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
She
so
was really, really in shape. She had like the abs going on, and then she had the fake boobs. So it literally just, the boobs looked perfectly round. The disappointing thing was the main girl in it, who sort of has a...
She was put together pretty well.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
compared to
looked
the
good.
other ones. Yeah.
I wanted to see her boobs.
Yeah, that was
Did
the
not
one I'm
happen.
just like, yeah, she's hot. They're going to be filming a porn. No, nothing.
No.
Yeah, her clothes do tear, but nothing.
So boobs, not good in this movie either. Let's go with blood, which would be the amount and sort of quality and special effects.
As a quality, I was very disappointed. Again, it looked like jam, and I mean, you really
Except in the tooth slamming scene.
Yeah,
That looked really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like when in the ring when she's coming there, she slides on it. That's okay, but like once it's on her, it looks so staged.
Well, it was too
Doesn't
perfectly
match.
placed.
So what would you rate this movie, Wes?
I'd rate this as a don't buy because yeah,
What is our rating?
Don't purchase.
1.5.
yeah. And the really sad thing is, I almost bought this movie too based on the cover because it's got one of those foil slip covers and it has the kind of cool look of like the back of the Mexican wrestler and he's turning his head like
You can see the blood on the mask.
It's
It's
like,
like,
oh
cool.
shit, this is a cool concept.
I was gonna give it I was gonna give it a 2 to be nice, but then there was
That's
the
an
rap.
overrated
Then there was the rapping at the end of it.
The outtake rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rapping killed it for me. It's the Hurley guy like doing rapping about each of the deaths. It's just like, oh, dude, the whole staff. Look at that. The whole staff's laughing. This guy's hilarious. No, it's not. It's not good at all.
No.
It's very bad. I don't know. One. I've given really shitty movies better ratings than this. And this had a real budget. That's what bugs me. There's so many, even some of the bad, like, low to no budget movies we've seen that I didn't like. This had a huge budget in comparison, so it was very disappointing.
Well, as far as budget goes, I know they didn't have a huge budget. It's bigger than most of the other stuff we review.
Do I have to give it a 1, or can I go lower than 1?
Do whatever you want.
I will give it a 0.1. I mean, it's just like I said, 20 minutes of the movie. It's like we actually checked to see. Oh, good, thank God, only half an hour left. I mean, it's like, but 20 minutes of the movie, I was like, I almost fell asleep.
I forgot about that because there's so much exposition in this movie that's completely needless. Like, it's pointless.
I think I'm going to give it a 1. Which I think is probably the most generous of everybody except for Crazy Uncle Randy so far.
It was pretty painful.
The thing I was disappointed with is I'm a wrestling fan myself, and I thought that the plot had such great potential for.
Yeah,
He did.
I'll agree with you there.
I think maybe the problem was they may have taken it a little too seriously. If they could have had just a crazy Mexican wrestler running around killing people in a like crazy Mexican wrestler style, I think that would have been an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap up our review, bad, boobs bad, body slams bad, blood bad. So
Pretty
blood
bad
was
movie.
Yeah, there was no really redeemable call. I can't. They're not gonna say, "Oh wow, but this was great." No, nothing at all.
When it was over, it was great.
Yeah, it ended. That was the best part.
Alright. So
Then we had to look back and realize how much time we'd spent watching it.
So for the Drunken Zombie crew, WrestleManiac disapproved. Just don't watch it.
Shit-a-la-la!